Okay, I think I fixed it. Let me just go to the video game manager, not video manager, and set the other thingy to private, because otherwise that's just going to go public and that defeats the point. So private. So you go private, please. Okay, changes saved. Are we back? Are we good? Okay, I think we're back. Right, let me go back through the chat. Where was I? I can't physically scroll back far enough through the chat. Chaos Gods already took him. Rip. Oh, damn it, we've lost the chat. Damn it, we lost the chat. Good. Hit it with a thunder hammer. No, I turned my Wi-Fi off and on again. I think my Wi-Fi just crashed. For mine comes strength, strength cometh will. That's 9. Warriors quote. No brains to the machine spirit required. It was just a system reboot. What already? No, the stream died. The stream died. My software and I dropped out. I think I dropped out of the Wi-Fi. I think, or the Wi-Fi just stopped working. So I had to close my internet app and reboot it. But we are back now. We are live and we are going again. I should probably tweet that. No, my demons group of assistants. Shut up, Alexis. Is the first Bloodthirsty Genghis Khan? No, because Bloodthirsters are made from parts of stuff. Demon Prince. We had the Doombreed debate. We are alive. I'm back. Yep, power. Have I missed anything important? Just a bunch of chatting, nothing much. You're not that late. You missed the first 40 minutes because then the stream crashed, so you're fine. What is your opinion on the Sons of Horus? They're fine. Not amazing, but they're fine. Oh, you're painting grey facts. Cool. Okay. Let me just deal with this and just retweet that we are live. Oh, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. There we go. Oh, go away. There we go. What is my favourite Tau formation? The Retaliation Cadre, or the 8. They both count. Your opinions on the Sons of Krieg. I will tell you when I've done their video, because I'm going to do their video. Opinions on Dawn of War 3. Need to play it and see what the story says before anything else. Colour scheme. The Sons of Horus colour scheme. I'm not a big fan of like that green, but it's fine. Could be worse. A chat's composed of Psych and Gnolls. No, it wouldn't make more sense fighting demons. You need to banish them. You can't just have them ignore you. It helps to have someone who actually defeat the demons, and that needs psychic. First live stream. What are your opinions on what kind of battle force killing we'll bring on the tabletop? See the Ultramarines Legion. Is there any piece of strand of lore in the 40k universe you haven't covered and really want to, and why? Well, I've planned out the 40k stories all the way up to the end of the Legion series, which is another, like, 20 weeks, so I'll probably have covered most of it there. Have I ever played against Black Templars? I played with Black Templars once, and that was in, like, when they had their own codex. In the more recent times, I haven't played against them, but they're a fun chapter. I don't know what they're like on the table, though. Are the Red Scorpions descended from the Lunar Wolves? Don't know how much the Red Scorpions, I'm afraid. Good night, somebody's leaving, fair enough. No smiting while I'm off duty, I don't need the paperwork. Ha ha. How late are you? You're 40 minutes, quote-unquote, late. You're fine. So it's fine. You're not too bad, and you haven't actually missed that much because the stream crashed, so we've lost a bit of time while I fixed that as well. The next podcast is out on Wednesday, by the way, if you're looking forward to it. If the legions weren't allowed to use psychic powers, then why did the Emperor create them with powers instead of null? They were allowed to use psychic powers for a while, and then they were banned at Nicaea. I'll be talking a lot about Nicaea when I get to Magnus, I'm sure. Does Don't be nervous about starting your own channel. Just go for it. It'll be fun. It is fun. How do you think Gilliman will play in deployment formations? I have no idea. He'll just be ridiculously powerful as a beat stick and a buffer. He'll be just really good. I don't really know. I'm not a tabletop person that much now. I'm getting more and more a lore person who plays tabletop rather than a tabletop person who does lore. I just need to get a drink for 1 minute, so I'm just gonna go on a break, and I'll be back in a moment. Sorry. To the jackass who's counting, stop. I'm back. I can see you counting. Emperor becoming a Chaos God. It's a fair hope. Rogel, I don't know why Rogel Dawn would want that, but well, they paint up a son of Garrow and Runner as my own character. Who are you talking about there? Oh, Gilliman, right. Yeah. I just worry after seeing what Magnus brings to. Yeah, he's powerful. If GW wants to introduce us to bug race into 40k, how likely is it to be the Megarachnids? Are the Megarachnids extinct? I need to check that. No. Megarachnids. Are they extinct? Need to check this. This is important. Yeah, I think they are. They've been exterminated. I think they're dead. I'm afraid. No need to apologise. It's just I found it funny to watch you counting. Magnus effed everything up. Blame Magnus. No. Tau. Favourite lesser chapters. Define lesser. Magnus can fly and do everything, something Gilliman won't do as well. No, Gilliman can't fly. Gilliman doesn't have psychic and stuff, but he has got D weapons. A true AI faction. Imperium invades Tau, so beat them, but they put AI into battle to make it self-learning. AI rebels. The Imperium hates the AI, though. The Imperium hates AI. That's why they have servitors, which is like this sort of hybrid. The most likely to develop a true AI race is actually the Tau. But basically, you'll basically want the Geth from Mass Effect there. Remember in 40k anything can happen? Yeah, okay, they could. The way the Chaos Gods came to be is just like they fed off the emotions of other stuff, and then what happened with the humans like woke them up. If you started painting channel, would you be a copycat to the bigger channels? No, as long as you put your own spin on it. Like, I'm a lore channel. Am I a copycat to Remlay's Arch Vaults and all of those? No, not really. Is there any pictures of Perjuab and Demon Form? No, actually. We were talking about this in the last stream because we were like, what's he going to look like? And we don't know. We'll give them use a jump pack if the situation called for it, maybe. And they can find one big enough. How do the Mecha-Arachnids go? Well, it says on their lexicon they were exterminated in the War on Murder. I mean, they may exist on other worlds, sure. But as far as I'm aware, they were only on one world. They were exiled to one planet by the Interrex, and then they were exterminated by the Blood Angels, the Sons of Horus, and the Emperor's Children. I think. Hashtag free the recruit, fine. If GW do make a real new race, I would like to see a true dwarf alternative, not squats. Fair enough. Fair enough, go for it. Painting channels aren't really my thing, I'm terrible at painting, but go for it, good luck to you. Okay, still healthy, so help me if this thing dies again. During the fight, the Interact showed up and they recalled to space. What? Oh, that needs citation. Okay, if that's a need citation, I can't answer it. Okay, fair enough. Maybe. Did GW break the game with the combined Eldar Codex? The game was never not broken. Can you do a video explaining the backstory and all the info on the Salamanders? I'm doing the Legion, the 30k Salamanders lore in the Legion series. When I get around to doing them in 40k, no sodding idea. Is Gathering Storm 3 out? No, we had this discussion earlier in the chat. It's coming out on Saturday. Thoughts on the Shards of Magnus? Well, if it means that some parts of Magnus are loyal, that'll do me. It'll do to have at least part of him being loyal. The wiki, I'm looking at Lexicanum, which basically if anyone has Horus Rising, they can check it because it was in Horus Rising that this all happened. Beyond that, it does have to check either way, because as far as I was aware, at least according to that, the Megarachnids were exterminated. Oh, I just felt a twinge in my shoulder blade. Ow. 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 Favourite Legions 30k and 40k. 1000 Suns in both cases. Because the Legions only existed in 30k. 30k is good enough. I just want to know more about them and I might make a custom group that splintered off of them. Salamander's successor. There were no Salamander successors actually. Were there? Hang on. Curiosity killed the cat. Bum, 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 bum. I spelled that correctly, didn't I? Yep. None known, 2 rumoured. Okay, the Black Dragons and the Storm Giants are rumoured, but that was it. Why are there no Null Marines? I think there are, I'm not sure. The Interrex intervened after the Space Marines finished with them. Okay. And also Forge World's dedicated line of miniatures the Great Crusade, including the enemies of the Imperium at the time. I reckon after the Horus Heresy range, they might just do that. They might just do that. Will I do a video on the artifacts of Vulcan? I will mention them in the Salamander's lore video. And that's it. Oh yeah, bad timing. It's just, yeah, I had a really bad twinge in my shoulder blade, so that I can understand why that was weird. First model you ever owned? Assault on Black Reach, the entire kit. If you don't know how to PM, just go to Twitter and messages. Or heck, just tweet it at us, for goodness sake. Just send her a tweet and stuff. I think Facebook also supports private message. How have I talked about Gathering Storm 3 leaks? The leaks, no. The announcements, yes. Are there any legions that specialise in Blitzkrieg? That would be the Sons of Horus. Lightning Assaults and stuff. That would probably be the Sons of Horus. Nemanja Lukic. Hello, good evening. That was too loud. Hey, 41. The Megarachnids are nice thing. We don't know. Either way, we don't know. Theory on Cypher, I have no idea. Remley sums it up far better than I do. Will I be doing a theory on what happened to the Lost and Forgotten Primarchs? No. Because that's just... everybody's done it. Sons of Horus aren't about surgical... Feel free to check my Sons of Horus lore video, but I'm pretty sure they are. Hang on. Chat, pause. Oh no, they were like flexible. They were very good at lightning assaults, but they weren't special. The Blood Angels, maybe. The Blood Angels are very good at it. Many legions do blitzkrieg. Yeah, they do. Most do. Like Space Wolves can, the Blood Angels did, the World Eaters kinda did, the Sons of Horus could. A lot of them did. No, they're even rarer the Psyche, though it's hard to find one, two for them to survive becoming a Space Marine. It's difficult. True. Um, as far as the colour and tactic, I'm not a fan of that colour scheme. I've got a red and blue bias, as you might have noticed. Yeah, we did see the large law section you put in the chat. Yeah, we did. The main thing is we need the direct quotes from Horus Rising rather than just a wiki summary because the wiki can get it wrong. The wiki gets it wrong, like Zakano gets it wrong. It happens. You think some of the chapters without any knowing founding chapter use the gene seed of the traders? Yes, the Karkaradins are a good example. They're supposedly traded loyalist Night Lords. Don't really know about the rest of them though. Aren't all the chapters slowly running out of gene seed? I think they can they make more? The Emperor had the knowledge to make more, and they siphon it off, don't they? They siphon it off, and they send a tithe away to the High Lords. So there seems to be enough of a stockpile to make it last. The Codex Astartes is the Sons of Horus playbook Gilliman edition, except far, far less flexible. Raven Guard are more like Sneaky, yes they are. Genuine question, but what's inspired you to start the 40k story series as well as coming up with the lore and such like behind it? Why did I do this? Well, the weekly lore series I want to do because I really like the lore, and once I upgraded my PC, I was like, this is something I can dedicate myself to, and it's something I can actually learn more. And then when the podcast rolled around, I was like, I can look like less of an idiot on the podcast. Win. As for why I'm doing it this way, the backstory, it's just because it allows me to add a personal touch. Like, anyone can read a lore video, anyone can write a script. It's just nice to put my own twist on it, and that's why, I think. Armoured Legions for Blitzkrieg. Iron Hands were too slow and too methodical. They weren't fast enough for Blitzkrieg. Thank you for the support. Remember the Emperor protects. Good night. Good luck with your channel. Best in close quarter combat. One-on-one, I think World Eaters win. Overall, I think the Blood Angels or the Space Wolves would outthink them, though. There's a Gene Seed type. Yes, there is. Yeah, sorry, I beat you to it. I'm behind on the chat now. I've got some scrolling to do. Have you thought of making a gay Vesa squad a la Convergence? I wish I hadn't sold my Imperial Guard army because I really want gay Vesa. And also, your spelling is perfect. I would say World Eaters, yeah, fair. If I'm right, one Marine make two thing, they need to make a Space Marine. I don't know about that. White Scars would be good at Blitzkrieg too. Fast about his motorized infantry hit and run tactics. Yeah, that would work. Have you enjoyed the Horus Heresy book so far? I've only actually read 3 of them. I've only actually read False Gods, Horus Rising, and Galaxy in Flames. I'm bad. Who do you think are the worst Legion 30k or 40k? In 40k, Emperor's Children. In 30k, it has to be at the end of the lore series. Obviously not objecting. Do you have any plan for the flow of videos? Yes. Oh, yes. I have literally planned the next 20 weeks. So, I'm going to spoil you the next... I'm going to spoil you the next 2 legions, just so you can sort of understand how this goes. Gay Base is a Tau word, by the way. You don't need to talk about Low Gothic. I've talked about the fact we're doing World Eaters. I mentioned that in the Tau videos. We're doing the World Eaters next. And then I wanted to flow into another combat thing. So, we're going to do the Flesh Terrors. And then, because the Flesh Terrors are like a good hybrid between the 2 legions, we're going to roll into the Blood Angels. And that's how we do it. We generally try and find something that links the things together, either in terms of where I am, or topics. Like, I have thought this all out. It's hilarious to do. It's hard. What do I think of The Beast? Haven't read it. Any chance of a John Grammaticus video? Maybe, eventually. Not in the plan yet. Might do. What do I think about Dark Souls? Never played it. Probably never will. Have you thought about writing an audio novella like Remlay's? I don't have the time. Alright. I've got... How many hours of contact have I got a week? 8 hours of lectures, 7 hours of lab, 3 hours of French, 2 hours of tutorials. Yeah, I've got 20 contact hours and then so much more. It's such an extremely long amount of stuff to do, plus the revision and stuff. I don't have the time. Plus keeping up with the lore videos. Like, if I did a novella, I'd have to stop all lore videos and then write for them, and then have to publish it in like the summer, and that's never going to happen. 30k, 40k, basically the entire plan of the series is it goes Legion something, Legion something, Legion something, and mostly the somethings are 40k things. because it's 40k. The series is called 40k stories, so it's going to be 40k stuff. That's how we always do it. We don't do crossover questions anymore. Where there are legions that specialize in boarding actions. A lot of legions had boarding experts like the World Eaters do, but I don't think there was a legion that was very good at boarding actions in particular. Playing Salamanders are trying to do Black Dragons as allies. Look forward to the Salamanders. Yeah, the Black Dragons are fun. I'm not probably going to do the Black Dragons as the lore video, but they are fun. Now that you've got your legions Primarch in both games, which Primarch would you like to see next to 30k and 40k respectively? 40k Lion or Angron. And 30k... We don't technically have Mantis yet, but he's coming, so... I would like to see... Oh god, who's left? Who's even bloody left? Sanguinius. How long do I jet to France? September. I leave in September. Imperial Fist was specialised in that. Oh, okay. I was understanding that Magnus's beef was only really with Russ and his boys. Magnus didn't get on with Russ, and he didn't get on with Mortarion because of their anti-Psyker stuff, particularly. The Imperial Fist might be boarding experts. I just wasn't sure because I haven't got that far. Sorry for all the tactics questions. I'm a military history student, so tactical specialist. That's fine. Military history's fun. Like, I'm more of a science type of guy. I like science fiction and stuff, but military history is fun. Breach Marines are available with 30k for using, unless you use specific rights of war. Yes, they are. But I think the Imperial Fist might be very, very good at it. Imperial Fist and Iron Warrior specialists in all forms of assault and defense, be it land or space. Yes, true. 30k Legion versus their 40k version. Well, the Legions outnumber the chapters by 100,000 miles. Like, the Ultramarines are 100 times smaller these days. Yeah, the Soul Drinkers were made from the Imperial Fist vet borders. I didn't know that. I'm going to try and do the Soul Drinkers at some time. Have you watched the Lord Inquisitor Prologue? Yes, and I made a video on it at the time. When or are you doing a Rogue Trader series like Arch is right now? No, I'm not. PC won't support it. Oh, Alexa's got to go, alright. See you around, Alexis. If you need anything, let us know, and look forward to seeing the podcast on Wednesday. Actually, it's on Remlace's channel this time. It's mostly his anger and upset towards burning a Prospero, isn't it? That's Magnus's main sticking point these days, yeah. Like, as far as the loyalists go, his main issue is with the wolves. Yeah, it is with the wolves. Oh, I thought you were going to bed. Can I scroll back that far? Yeah, I think I can. I don't care. Okay, people who said they were leaving came back. Cool. Did I need that? Okay, I guess we're about halfway through at this point. Because I don't really want to stream past 10 o'clock. That will drive my flatmates even more annoying. I was just wondering if the technical advances would have helped the 40k chapters. Yeah and no. Like, some of the stuff the Legions had is vastly superior. Like, if you did it as 1,000 in a Legion versus a full chapter, on the tabletop, I think the Legion wins, generally. Even if you take the Primarchs out of the equation. Don't do crossovers, already talked about this. Has 40k gone backwards? Yes. Well, the Imperium has gone backwards. The Imperium has gone very, very backwards. Anyone know a good editing software for on a phone? I wouldn't edit on a phone. You can get Windows Movie Maker for free. If you're on an Apple device, you can get iMovie. I used ArcSoft off the Windows Store. That was free. You've got plenty of options. I did cover your question on propaganda, but I think the stream might have crashed. So I think the main reasons are orators, Vox announcements, and posters and stuff. Do I play the Warhammer 40k RPGs? No. I don't get a chance. How is the best way to give you something? Don't. Don't. Because I don't really want to do that. Because I don't want people sending me stuff, because I feel like... It's why I don't use Patreon. I don't use Patreon or anything like that, because I feel like then I'm being paid for something by you guys, and I don't want to do that because this is my hobby, and I'm probably going to end up having to not pack it in, but certainly have to rearrange stuff when I go to France, so I've got things to do. Why don't the Tau look to warp tech more, like use human Zygers? Because they don't understand the warp. Like, they don't really know what it is, so that's fine. Oh, right, we're going hunting for the Horus Rising segment. How do you think the Ecclesiarchy will view the return of the Primarchs? Depends on if they fall in line. Probably they won't. I know it's a gift, I know that, but at the same time, like, how do I explain this without sounding like a dick? I just would rather people enjoy my content and leave it at that. Like, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate the offer, but I am okay. There's no need. If I wanted to open it up for sending stuff, I would put a PO box and stuff. What time is the stream finishing? Probably about 10, Ben. About 10. Did like your tongue-in-cheek comments, get your words out. As an Earthcast looking at the Mechanicus, of course! Earthcast, taking the piss out of the Mechanicus, of course! Tau makes small warp jumps, yes, but they don't really understand the ins and outs of the warp. They just literally... It's like, if that's the warp, think of it like the sea. They like skim like a stone rather than actually diving in like the Imperials do. They don't fully know. Oh, Yetten's got to go, fair enough. Why don't the Eldar teach the Tau that they did with the Interrex? Because that would be too dangerous, probably. Also because the Eldar are colossal dicks. The Eldar are a bag of dicks. Okay, see you in a bit, man. Bum, 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 bum. Oh. The Tau is still too young. Also that. I think the Eldar are probably just too scared. I think the Eldar are just too scared. It's like, if we teach the Tau how to be psychers, then they'll actually be better than us in every single conceivable way. Ha ha. Screw you, Eldar. Eldar fear the Tau. I don't think they fear them yet. Oh, T apostrophe is for the Tau homeworld. T no apostrophe is Tau the race. Why do you think the Tau have such little impact on the Imperium? Because they have no psychic presence. They have no psychic potential, so they don't show up. What do you think will happen when the Emperor dies? One of two things. Either everything goes to pot or the Emperor resurrects, one or the other. What would happen if the Tau was in the warp? I don't know what happened to that firecast that got abandoned in the Garden of Nurgle. I'm pretty sure some firework... Hang on, let me go back to my warp lore video, because I'm sure I mentioned... warp. Realm of Chaos, there we go. Garden of Nurgle. Oh, no, I remember. It was in the Demon Prince lore. It was in the Demon Prince lore. There we go. Demon Prince. Yeah, they abandoned some Fire Warriors in the Garden of Nurgle. I don't know what happened, unfortunately. Okay, no one insults the Eldari. Well, that worked. Is there any Tau story about entering into the warp? No, there's not enough Tau lore. Human auxiliary for Tau, are they used as human waves? I shouldn't see human auxiliary more than it's more disposable. Yeah, but the Tau doesn't really get the idea of sending the next wave. Like, the Tau are very conservative with their lives and resources. Like, the Gevesa wouldn't be thrown away, but sure, they may not take as much care, but they wouldn't just chuck them in. No, they still use them properly and coordinate with them. Could a Tau become a Demon Prince? Yeah, no, maybe. It would take some serious doing, like the Tau actually worshipping chaos for a start. Bluish Plague Bearers. No, Plague Bearers are formed from the souls who die of Nurgle's rot. So, no. They just got horrifically infected. If they got infected with Nurgle's rot, then yes, they'd become Plague Bearers, but not any different to regular Plague Bearers, excuse me. Why do you think Farsight went rogue? Go see my Farsight lore video. He looked into the warp and what he saw completely scared him to death. Well, sort of. But yeah, he saw the truth and realised that he was too dangerous to be kept around. Aren't Tau anti-warp? No, they're not anti-warp. They just have a very small presence. Anyone could be a Demon Prince, we've got to have faith in chaos. Yes. What army would you consider playing apart from Tau? I played Orcs for ages. I've got my 30k Thousand Suns army. So yeah. The Orcs are my fun army. My Tau are my actual decent army. Warp spider jump generator attached to a Tau battle suit equals trouble. Hey, 37 in the chat. It's not quite Alexis's chat, but it will do. It's a good chat. It's a good chat. Is Farsight the Tau Horrors? I bloody well hope not. I bloody well hope not. Because quite frankly, I would be very disappointed if they made him do that, because then he'd have to die to Shadow Sun, and that would be sucky. I do like the rock, paper, scissors situation 40k's in at the moment. I don't know if it's quite that. Closest thing to a tiny risk of the Dawn, with the Dawn Blade's not chaos. So no, that's not true. Think if any Tau did go to chaos, the information was destroyed. Makes sense. Well, it would, yeah. Just start playing again after a few years. Is the case from the Q game Firewar the same case who was trained by Puretide, along with Farsight and Shadowsun? The case from Dark Crusade, I believe, is the equivalent to Okais from Farsight lore, but I don't know if it's the same guy from Fire Warrior. Do I have a favourite rugby team? I play Union, but my favourite team are actually a league team, Salford, because my granddad's a massive Salford fan. If the Primarchs are returning, could one of them try to ally with Tau? Not impossible, highly unlikely. When does the War of the Old Ones versus the Necrons happen in human time? Like 60 million years ago. What do you think the fate of the Emperor will be with all the Gathering Storm stuff? At this point, I have no cocking idea. Have to ask what map is on your wall. There isn't one. There's a diagram of the anatomy of a Stomper. That's from Horus Heresy Book 1, and that's a Wood Elf art piece from my GW. Can you actually see that? Yes. Not asking that. I don't understand the town naming sense, especially names like Farsight and Puretide. It's titles. They go off their titles. Admittedly, it's the same naming convention as the Custodes. Calm down. What do you think of Warzone Fenris? Good to see the Space Wolves get their butts handed to them, but not sure about the rest of it. Also good to see Magnus back. I used to play rugby. Are you like a real fan? Define real. Like, I enjoy watching it, and I play it, but I'm not an expert, no. Isn't the Imperium a very Catholic place? I wouldn't go so far as to say Catholic. It's religious, yes, but I wouldn't want to put our religion on it. Tau Primarch equivalent, there isn't one. There's no argument that Tau aren't grimdark enough. However, there are certain aspects that hint at deep corruption, i.e. the ultimate control. Yes, that's why F the Ethereals. Oh, you kept thinking the elf thing was a map? I could see it looking like a galaxy map with this 240p quality. I could see it. Second row. No, the second row is a forward. I played in the front and the second row. I generally play in the front row. I don't think nothing happens to the Emperor. It depends on what they want to do. It depends on where they take the plot. Like, if they want to make it all about the War for Macragge, then nothing's going to happen to the Emperor. If the War for Macragge is just the first bit, then something's going to happen to the Emperor, one way or the other. Or something's going to happen with the Emperor. Maybe not to him, but with him, for sure. Also control of the race by the Ethereals. How do you square this in your mind, or do you prescribe the thought of their being good, but they're so inconsequential as the symbol of hope has no chance of surviving in the face of all the encroaching threats? Okay. The Tau are weird. I hate the Ethereals. I'll go straight up, I hate the Ethereals. I don't like them. I much prefer the way Farsight works, where, yeah, okay, necessary sacrifices have to be made, but it's all done correctly. Yeah, Dawn of War 3 release date is April 27th, you're right. I don't know what's coming to the Tau. Favourite Loyalist chapter? Raven Guard or Flesh Terrors? I'm Catholic and I see too many similarities to the Ecclesiarchy and Inquisition, especially the Church of Old. Okay. I've never really got into religion, so am I going to stream it? No. Do I tend to be the one to do the Tactica? I generally go into a lot of contact, yes. I'm not the biggest player on the team. It's like, I just try and get the ball into contact and clear out the rucks, yes, but I'm not going to take that out of any contact. Okay, could the Tau get a Primarch equivalent? In the same sense as the Primarchs, no, because they weren't being created. Could they get a tech boost? Yeah, they're developing tech all the time. Warpstorm stuff? Unlikely. Who's your favourite non-Primarch Horus Heresy character? Ahriman, probably. Ahriman or Khan, I think. I mean, Nasir Amit, who went on to become the Flesh Tearers guy, he's cool. Anyone in the World Eaters? Khan. Anyone in the White Scars? No, not particularly. Ultramarines. Any cool Ultramarines? I quite like Marius Gage, but he's not that cool. Sons of Horus. I quite like the Mornival in general. Yeah, there's a few. Am I boring? Okay, apparently I'm boring. Okay, fair enough. If that's what you think, that's fine. Could there be a second Golden Crusade led by the returned Primarchs, and how would the other races react? In answer to question 1, we need more Primarchs back. In answer to question 2, I have no cocking idea. Would you play Alexis on Tabletop Simulator? I would lose horribly. I won't rule it out, but I would lose horribly. Favourite GW and Forge World model? Oh, God. Can you wait until Human Magnus is out? I really like Cataphractic Terminators in general. I like them. Callus Typhon's very good. I don't know. There's so many good models, and my opinions change all the time, so I wouldn't want to give an answer, I'm afraid. Sorry, Karen. Get that shit out of your head. Oh, I've got to do my washing tonight because I've got training tomorrow. God damn it. Yeah, so I'm going to have to finish this stream, go to the shops, get some cash out, get some change, do my washing, and then, oh God, I've got a long night ahead of me, and I've got labs tomorrow. Bloody nuclear labs. Fun. There's a song in that somewhere. Where are we at? Okay, it's 21:21. Awesome. Oh, my shoulder. If GW were lower prices, do you think more people play the tabletop? Enough to justify lowering the prices? Don't know. Oh, right. Since the tower got hidden by a warp storm, could the new warp storms give them a huge boost because of time shenanigans? Unlikely. Any town pirates? Not that I know of. Do you plan to do lore on the Genestealer cults? Don't know. Might do. Did you ever see an Abaddon model in a non-awkward pose? He's not in a bad... I don't mind the pose of either of the two Abaddons. They're not great, but they're alright. Well, the style of the Imperium mimics the Catholic Church a lot. Just look at the Black Templars and their cathedral-like structures. You mean the entire Imperium's cathedral-like structures. But I wouldn't want to assign it... yeah, okay, there's a lot of links to Catholicism and Christianity, but I wouldn't want to say, oh, the Catholic Church is like the ecclesiarchy, because that's extremely harsh and probably untrue. Oh, sorry, that might cause some feedback on the mic. Yeah, I might need to try and just crack that later. Because, goodness me, that actually hurts. This is what happens at the forage industry. GW never lower prices due to being publicly traded. Instead, they will combine boxes with lower prices, as they are new products, e.g. Gangs of Comrade. Probably. You see that, so I can stick a cathedral on it. See the Imperator. Imperium is Gothic. Yes, it is. But the ecclesiarchy and its whole state religion has a lot of undertones that would tie in with Christianity because of the architecture and stuff. Are there any other YouTubers you enjoy watching apart from Alexis and Remlays? Many, actually. Many a True Nerd. Really cool British guy. I don't actually know him personally, but he's cool. Who else is on my sub feed? Alpha, obviously, text-to-speech. I watch a few gaming review channels like Total Biscuit and Angry Joe. I watch a few Hearthstone channels, because I like Hearthstone. A couple of Fallout channels, because I'm kind of interested in those. What else have I got on here? Cinema Sins, Dan Bull, Electro Deluxe, some of the big ones like Sidemen and The Crew and stuff. I've got many wargaming on here. Some Call of Duty Zombies channels, because I got quite into that for a while. 1 or 2 Pokemon channels. And that's the long and short of it. Oh, that's the long version. And Zoran as well. Okay. In your opinion as a physicist, which technology is the most viable? Railguns. If Fabius Bile resurrects his 1,000 suns... Fabius Bile didn't have 1,000 suns, just to remind you, you're thinking of Ahriman. Do you think them being loyalists at the point of being turned to rubrics will be played off by Games Workshop? It kind of was, actually, when your brain resurrected and like, what the hell is going on, Araman? But, what would be best to paint for a beginner? Space Marines are pretty easy. Miracle of Sound, I've heard of Miracle of Sound, I've not watched much of them. Have I watched All Minds Syndicate? Little bits, but they read off the wikis and I try and do a little bit more than that, so if I want to see their stuff, I can just go and read the wikis, which I do. Favourite damn bull rap? Oh god. The Far Cry Primal one was good. Far Cry Primal one was good. 40 Years of Gaming, that was good. Oh god. Now you put me on the spot. There are a lot of good ones. Railguns. Apparently the US has railguns. Okay. In which case... Bolters, probably. Which non-UK 40k YouTuber would you like to meet? Alexis, obviously. Alpha would be awesome to meet the crew. The TTS crew, like Zoran and Alpha and stuff. Did I read Fracture BL Tarn? Actually, no, I didn't. What is this? Sorry, hang on a minute. Sorry, give me a minute. What's the coolest looking army you've played against? Yours, Kieran. As far as I'm aware, railguns already exist. Okay, fair enough. I'm alright with the Skyrims. I'm not a huge fan of Skyrim, so take a leave. What is this? That's not even funny. I don't find that amusing. Best thing to make for medium level painters. I'm not even a medium level painter. Just basically taking what models you have and working up the detail is good. Have you thought about inviting guests? We've had guests. Yeah, we've had guests before. We've had Thunder. White's been on 2 or 3 times. Scardcast came on. Carl and Fresh have been on. It's just been hard to keep different guests coming, and like we're trying to get Alpha and Zegram and stuff. But if there's a guest, we will have a guest. But I'm not going to promise them that this episode will have this guest and that. That's not my place anyway. Considering we only organise 1 out of 3 episodes, and I'm so busy I never get time. But I'd love to have Zegram on because, well, Magnus bias, and having Alpha on because, well, I'm the only one who's not in the TTS chat at this point, and all that stuff. So, yeah, we've had guests before. Eldar have to reload those shuriken weapons. Okay, I'm not surprised. Like, they do fire the very... Like, hang on, the Blade Storm ability. The reason that you can't shoot the next turn is because you have to reload. I think. How will the story go on after the end of Gathering Storm? That completely depends on the end of Gathering Storm. Ask me that. Basically, when the next episode of the podcast comes out, not this one's coming out on Wednesday, the one after, Gathering Storm 3 will have been out and we'll have probably got all the plot details. So we'll be talking a lot about it there. I can almost guarantee we're talking a lot about Gathering Storm 3 there and where it's going to go in future, because there'll be a lot of implications from that. Yes. Remember that very funny guy who pointed out that typo? Oh yeah, I remember. We spotted it as well. We spotted it immediately. It's like the first thing I said when we got it. It's like, there's a typo there, and we pointed out we got it changed. It's all fixed, and you'll see it in its full glory on Wednesday. Oh, I need to stretch. Ow. Yeah, sorry, I would give you more of an answer, but until Gathering Storm 3 has its ending, we can't speculate on the future. Until you have the basis on which to build a story on, you can't build a story. So I need the ending of Gathering Storm 3 before I can answer that. And I'm sure in the stream after Gathering Storm 3 we'll have a big long chat about it, or I'll just make my own video talking about it. One or the other. Well, I'm glad the physics friends haven't been too missed. I mean, I'm sure I'll get them on sometime, but yeah. 3rd edition Eldar Codex covered how shuriken weapons work. I didn't read it that well. I was 14 when I read that. Yeah, back in the it was in the school library. I remember talking about that. Yeah, I don't know how shuriken weapons work because I've not looked it up. Maybe it's in here. Hold on. I'm going to go check my Eldar Codex. Because I have an Eldar Codex. Here we go. I'm not getting Gathering Storm 3 on Saturday, no. I'm meeting my parents anyway, and I just don't have the time and the money to commit to doing that. I'll learn all the story details by the time of the next podcast, but I'm probably not going to be able to go out and buy it myself. Here we go. Stop it. Stop it. That's Special Issue War Gear. They are... here we go. Sure. No, they're melee weapons. These are ranged weapons. Here we go. Shuriken. Fire monomolecular bladed discs. Near invisible to the naked eye with an astonishing fire rate. Firing up to 100 in a few seconds. High energy impulses rather than performance. Cool. Will you have anything about the respective navies of the various factions? I'm doing the Imperial Navy. I'm not probably going to look at the Corvette or anything like that, I'm afraid. Were you surprised when we started the channel at how popular 40k is now? I knew 40k was popular, I didn't realise it was this popular though, that's fair. I admit, it does surprise me sometimes like how big this community is, but it is awesome and I wouldn't change it for the world. What do I think of Lanius? Eanius? Oh, it makes my capital I's look like capital L's. Oh no, it's capital I. It's capital I. Eanius. I don't know who that is. Sorry. We buy so many models if I didn't have to buy each codex. I feel you there. What's this OOK about? Oh, that's talking about Gilliman. Chain weapons versus power weapons. Chain weapons cut through power armor. Can't cut through power armor. Power weapons can. Do you think there'll ever be a supplement or even a codex to flesh out the Fallen? They're getting one in Gathering Storm 3. The Fallen are getting rules in Gathering Storm 3 as a faction. They're Battle Brothers with Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines, but not with Dark Angels, I believe. Okay, into the last half an hour, ladies and gentlemen. The Fallen get models? No, I think they had it confirmed that they're Betrayal at Calth models with 7 new parts put on them. So I think they're just conversions to Fallen models. They're getting rules, but I don't think they're getting actual models, they're just converted. The only Fallen you're getting is Cypher. As far as I'm aware anyway, I'm waiting to be corrected on that when it comes out. But I think we'd have heard if there was a box of Fallen coming out. Still do. They're on the GW website for order. Can you link that? Am I looking... As a sci-fi fan, are you looking forward to the Ghost in the Shell movie? I'm probably not going to watch it. I barely get time. Are there any town models that have been discontinued you think you've made to order? Not that I'm aware of, actually. Oh, you mean Janus. It's not spelled... I think the spelling is Janus. I know it's bad Latin. There's more like Janus would be spelled like that, but... oh, it's the shade of Remio Lavada, right, okay. Let me get to the Thousand Suns lore video and then I'll tell you. The Fallen get Betrayal of Calth models with Dark Angels conversions. I thought so. They do like the current Dark Angels, but they do use like Mark IV stuff. Do you think Dawn and Vulcan are still alive? Vulcan is. Dawn probably is. No, the ones on GW website are just renamed Dark Angels / Mark 6. You mean Mark 4 Marines? Because IV is 4 in Roman numerals and VI is 6. And they're not beakies. They're definitely not beakies. Oh my god. Ow. Oh, you have the book in... Oh, that's how it's spelt. Oh. Oh god, I look so bad yawning in the middle of a stream. That's how it's spelled, is it, for Janus? Right, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. Let me get that far in the 40k Stories series to try and find out a bit more about Revelavida, and then I'll get back to you on that one. Oh my god. My shoulder is killing me. It's not my shoulder, it's my shoulder blade. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Is there a 40k equivalent to Xenophon, that is, a unit or force trapped behind enemy lines and forced to find their own way home? Colonel Schaefer's last chances. Gevesa, a guardsman who was left behind by the Damocles Gulf Crusade. In terms of trapped behind enemy lines, there's a few. The last chances, and some of the guardsmen in the Damocles Gulf would qualify, but most of them will be dead or integrated by now. Will Kieran ever appear in a podcast? Probably no, but I won't rule it out. Just because... I don't know. I won't rule it out, but I don't know. Do you know where to get cheaper 40k stuff? If I did, I wouldn't tell you, because you support GW because that's the only way to do it. The Shattered Legions. Of course, the Shattered Legions. I know that. Yeah, they're not great. No worries. You can't post links. Maybe only mods can post links. Oh, sorry. Oh, Grappled Altenstar. That's the point. Because I'm terrible at organising things. And that. The Last Son of Prospero. If you don't have to read a wiki, second-hand info. Yeah, I know where it is. The Last Son of Prospero. It's just I have to actually then go out and buy it. And then read it, and that takes time. It's easier just to look it up rather than actually scroll through it and read through an entire, even novella, just to get the information. I know that's extremely lazy, but I'm on a really tight time budget. Gilliman should look more like a cyborg. They want him to look more real. There's a reason that he's supposed to look like that, because he's supposed to be the Robert Gilliman. You just said, oh, this is Gilliman, and he looks like a friggin' robot. People are just going to be like, that's not Gilliman, or at least some will say that's not Gilliman, and that's not what they need. It needs to be as near to being Robert Gilliman as possible. It's less than 30 pages, oh blimey, alright, maybe. It's just a case of getting my hands on it then, I suppose. But then again, the Thousand Suns are a long way away. I need to try and remember to do that at some point. Yes, the Armour of Fate is a life support system, I don't disagree. But, like I say, there's one to look more real and noble. Is he a little more than Dreadnought? He's more than a Dreadnought because, well, he's alive. A lot more alive. Like, he's not having to be, like, trapped within... Until they describe exactly how the Armour of Fate works in the lore, I can't say either way, but he's more than a Dreadnought because, well, he isn't in a Dreadnought chassis. But, oh my god, I'm yawning so much. Why am I yawning so much? Because it's late. Well, it's not late, it's always just been a long bloody day. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be yawning. I'm a bad person. How have I managed to entertain 38 people to be in this chat? I don't understand. Favourite Tau auxiliaries? Groot and Gebesa. Not sure in what order. A Dreadnought with a D weapon. Yep. No, because technically he didn't die and is not sealed in it. Did he die? There's a debate on whether Gilliman died. I think he died. I think he was basically dead and resurrected. I think it was a mistake bringing Gilliman back first. Should have been the line after what happened on Fenris. But if you're the Eldar, like, think about the connotations of how they set this up. I think having set it up, it's easier for the Eldar to resurrect Gilliman than it is to go and find Lion or Russ. Also, screw Russ. Lion would have been fine and with Cypher and it would have made sense, but if you think about it from the Eldar's perspective, resurrecting Gilliman made sense. I don't drink coffee, sorry. I can only say it because I think it's not the Grey Knight guy, but someone different. What's this about? Go back. Oh, Janus not being Janus? Interesting. Which minis would you use to make the old Imperial Army units on Calth? Just the old Imperial Guard or something else? I just go with Imperial Guard and run with it, but I haven't seen enough images of the Solar Auxiliary to come up with something better. Will we see an Imperial Fist successor chapter book, like Hounds of Dawn and Iron Knights? Maybe. If Dawn comes back, maybe. How OP would a Dreadnought Primarch be? Less OP than you might think, because they're quite cumbersome. In the rules it says if he's slain he come back to life, yeah, he's basically resurrectable. Will there be a Dreadnought Primarch? They could do it with Manus, but I don't think they will. And they could do it with... that would do. Energy drinks. I had a drink here. It's just been a long-ass day. I'll be alright, don't worry about me, guys. I'll just keep her going. Keep her going, as I think that's Nogla says that. Died in Ogla. I'm so bad at accents. Well, I say who's seen the golden plated Astartes on Gilliman's base? What now? Wait, what now? I'm gonna have to go look this up now because you've piqued my interest. Nope. Could you render, please? That's a Black Legion. It's a Black Legion Chaos Marine, I think. Or just painted in like neutral colours. Yeah, it's a Black Legion guy. Thought so. I see where you're coming from, but no. Why did you take me to? I didn't want to go to 1D4chan. I didn't want to go to 1D4chan. I wanted to look at this image. That's helpful. It's not even any bigger. Fine. He was wasting status at the point of death, yes, but he didn't heal. I think he was basically resurrected, I think. What inspired me to learn physics? Science is cool, and it could well be Warhammer, actually. Like, I want to understand how all the weapons work. And also, I like understanding how things work. I generally like that stuff. And I don't know, like, how it works, why it works, and I find science very cool in general. I was never going to do chemistry or biology, they're not my interest. Physics always was more fun for me, and my other option was to do a language, and I was probably never going to be good enough to do a language. And then the chat went. What I think about GW prices, they're high, but they're justifiably high. They're the best in the business, and they've earned their place. They're expensive, I don't disagree. That's the Custodian Land Raiders. I haven't actually looked at the Custodian Land Raiders, but they look badass. We don't talk about politics, and particularly I don't talk about that breed of politics, because that's just a meme, and memes are dead on this channel. I have decreed all memes are dead. Am I getting the collector's edition of Dawn of War 3 because you get a replica of Gabriel Angelos' Demon Hammer? Do you? Do you? Interesting. I won't be personally, but that's interesting. Yeah, the Lion's Sword is huge. It is. It's designed to be wielded by a Primarch. There's no way a regular Astartes could wield it. That's the point. I don't know if it's two-handed for Lion or whether he wields it one-handed. We'll find out. Yeah. Rip memes. Death to all memes. Except TTS memes, because they're funny. Dawn memes are funny. I remember talking to my friends in Warhammer group chat. I wanted to find, what do you say? For looking like a yellow submarine, there seems to be a distinct lack of intelligent life inside your head. I wanted to use that, I didn't. I wouldn't ever judge the game based on the collector's edition, the Demon Hammer, 36 centimeters. That's not very big. That's not very big. 14 inches is not very big in the context of a hammer. I know we're always judge it on the game. The game's got to be good first. Get fresh, he has a meme shotgun. Do you think Rogaldorn is still alive? Yes. I think he comes back and has some sort of super relic fist weapon that replaces his hand, so you mean a giant gauntlet. What pattern is Gabriel Angelos' armour in Dawn of War 3? Haven't looked, I'm afraid. Sorry. Probably if it's really big and bulky, it's probably cataphracti, but Tartarus allows you to run faster. Maybe Gilliman was taken out of stasis. He died, the Eldar healed him and then revived him, and Cole put him in the suit. Maybe. So if Dawn were to be alive, do you think he's on Terra or somewhere else? Oh, bloody hell, who knows? At this point, who bloody hell knows? Was he healed by the Eldar or the Dark Eldar? The Eldari, the Yinari, to be technical. Ivrain, who was a Dark Eldar succubus and now is the emissary of Inaid or Iniad or whatever you pronounce the name as. Will Lorgar ever come out of his depression? Who knows? I'd like him to. Think the Lion will get a new sword because if we just got a new Cypher model, we'll have to change? No. Cypher's carrying the broken Lion's sword. If they follow the plot through and have him then hand the Lion's sword over and it fixes, then he hands it over to Lion. Care to explain how Gabriel can do a flip jump in Terminator armor? No, because I don't know how. Connection rebooted right at that time. What's that about? Oh, that. There is another Primarch confirmed on Terra. Vulcan? Could be Vulcan. Oh, Ben's back. Cool. You've got the last 15 minutes. So we have another 15 minutes, and then we will wrap the stream up. And I don't even need to ask for content ideas because the last batch of content ideas, well, I've got an arseload to be getting on with. Cypher is Aragorn. Maybe created as a parallel, highly unlikely. Not impossible though. I can see the parallels. Legion of the Damned and Army of the Dead, not Legion of the Damned. That's 40k. What am I talking about? Oh God, I'm gonna need to stretch so much after this. Vulcan's alive. They found him in a planet and brought him back. Yeah, what, mate? Yeah, what, mate? Source? There is genes that are confirmed on Terra. Yes. Disagree with the opinion that Gilliman dies. The picture is somewhere sat in the throne. By the looks of it, it's the Temple of Hera, so probably still in stasis, hence still alive. We don't know what Gilliman's stasis pod looked like, so hard to know. But that was like 9,000 years ago. What was 9,000 years ago? Okay. I'm prepared to be proved wrong on Saturday. Exactly. We will find out on Saturday what the exact story is. This is the last round of debating before Saturday. Oh God, I wouldn't even want to start with crossovers. I don't do crossovers. They didn't say which pro marks. My guess is Vulcan or Dawn. I would agree with that. Or Korax. How are the flying F with wings? Is there a gene stealer cult on Terra? Because plot. Because plot, basically. Hopefully we'll get... I think Gathering Storm is going to have a bunch of fleshed out novels that will explain it all. So hopefully that. Thank you for your effort. You're the good content. Glad you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure. If the Emperor return, would his model have a 10 on every stat? Maybe not every stat. His attacks would probably be lower than 10. Love the new Fallen models. There are no new Fallen models. They're just conversions of the Chaos miniatures with Dark Angel's conversion kit. Just hope Cyber keeps BS 10. We'll see. He might do, he might not. We'll find out. I wouldn't want to say either way. Stop it. Maybe Cypher against the Absolution, his fallen comrade becomes Legion of the Damned. You mean Luther? Maybe. Yeah, you can dream, but unfortunately not. Dawn. Source. Always ask for source. You can. This is the whole Nurgle's older than Khorne debate. He isn't. Khorne's older, and that's got sources, and Nurgle has no sources. Remley's had his rants about this. Glad you enjoyed the stream. If I were to be a millionaire, I'd pay big money for a theatre-wide movie about 40k. Oh. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with a 40k movie. I'm just going to pause the chat so I can keep up with this. People would have to understand the lore. This is the problem with like 40k. You have to try and explain the lore for the lore fans, and people just think, oh, what's the point? It's just another shoot-'em-up movie with a 40k dressing. So you have to do something with the lore. But if you do much into the lore, you confuse everyone who's not a lore nerd, and then it all just goes to pot. It's like any game-adapted movie is really, really bad. Well, not all really, really bad, but generally rule of thumb they're bad. Because it's hard to get the plot across and the lore across without using things that people don't understand. Thoughts on the Town of Forest book? Haven't seen it. When is the next Legion video you're going to do? What is? Sorry. I told you on Saturday. World Eaters. Will Madness return to the Empire? No, probably not anymore. Would you play 40k Total War if my PC could run Total War? Absolutely. Lord Inquisitor? Good. Lord Inquisitor is a fan project. I'm talking like Hollywood here. Lord Inquisitor is a fan-made project, and that's got huge care taken to it. But if you showed that to a random person in the street and said, this is a little short movie that somebody's made, they wouldn't understand a thing. There is one already, it's called Space Marine. Yeah, that's a video game, not a movie. Because you can interact with it. It has more to it. Like trying to put a tabletop game to a video game is easy. Going from tabletop to video to doobly-doo. Pick any Dan Abnett book for a TV cartoon series. A Horus Heresy TV show. I don't know about cartoon. Could be fun. Ultramarines wasn't very good. No, it wasn't. John Hurt, rest in peace, but he was awesome otherwise. Will Cypher return to the Imperium? Don't know. Hopefully. Maybe Dawn on Terror was canon on the other days and then it was retconned. All TTS has an impact. Maybe. Ultramarines an awful film as it didn't even stick to the fluff. No, it didn't, but oh well. So really an anime is the only way you see the 40k being worked correctly. Well, I don't know. It can work. But it needs the right writers, the right actors, it needs to be directed and acted by people who really care about the fluff. The fluff has to do it in a certain way, whilst also trying to be interesting enough to not just be another action movie. Cypher's Kane, that could work. Worst map board F up. Don't even know. Horus Heresy done Game of Thrones style. If we didn't already know the plot. I mean, it could be done as a TV show, but don't know. Okay, 10 minutes. 10 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap this stream up after having a hard crash in the middle of it. I very rarely get through a stream without a crash of some description, with my computer dropping out of the Wi-Fi or whatever. Something usually goes wrong in these streams, but hey, it's fine. Ow. Yeah, I would definitely watch it. The problem is, we watch it, that's fine, but it's trying to impress the rider community as well. How did you first get into 40k as a child? My friend put an Emperor-class Titan up against Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, killed them all, and then showed me how badass 40k was. That was literally it. In the car coming back from band, it was our band's drummer, just basically said, I've got an Imperialis Titan, I kill all your Pokemon, screw you. Yeah. An Upper Hive type thing, that's a game. That's fun, though. I probably wouldn't do it myself. Listen to the audiobooks. Time. Always time. Always time. Starship Troopers anime, Truly Faithful, the source material was the 80s. It could be done. I don't get a chance to listen to the audiobooks because I just haven't got the time to do it. Problem with 40k Game of Thrones style is there's no explicit for the masses. No, because we would hate it and we'd kill them. I wish to see a sequel to Space Marine. Unlikely to happen because THQ went to pot. But it would be fun. I would quite like a Space Marine sequel just to see where it goes. Because I heard there was like something in the works for the opening act of that, of Space Marine 2, where you break out from the Inquisition's custody and then stuff like that, and then found your own chapter, which I find extremely unlikely. Best Legion in naval combat. There wasn't really a naval-based legion. Probably the Imperial Fists. Dawn was going to be 2 before they went under. Yeah, there was. There were plans for Space Marine 2, but it got canned. Have I played Necromunda? If so, I haven't, I'm afraid. The problem with 40k for Hollywood is there's no happy endings. Yes, but grimdark. That would be the point. But to be fair though, like Hollywood probably not with the people you want. I don't know. Do you know about the rumour of 2 Primarchs changing allegiances? Won't happen. If it did happen, it'd be fun to see Magnus come back and Lion fall or something like that, but I don't think it's going to happen. White Scars, they weren't renowned for it, apparently. Don't like the 4K video games nowadays. Some of them go. Battlefield Gothic's good. The Space Wolf adaptation looks alright, actually, now. There's some alright ones, some bad ones. What did you miss? You missed the entire stream. We're going to be wrapping up in 5 minutes. Sorry. It was just general chat, generally. Iron Hands versus Death Guard. Depends on how far apart they start. Not all films have happy endings. 7. Yeah, that's true. Not all films have happy endings. But hey. Imperium would never forgive traitor promise. I did a video on that a long time ago. That was the first video that really got me popular. Actually, no, that was the video with Remlays. And then those ones were the ones that fell off the back of it. I'll pull on Alexis, but for Slanesh, it's always... Before you end the stream, just a thanks. That's fine. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. 40k movie idea, Guardsmen fight chaos, good ending, and Space Marines turn up. It's the only way it ends well. No Necromunda game info in February is promised. Was there promised? I don't remember that. Problem with Hollywood, they're trying to make everything dark. 40k is already dark, so they won't be able to darken it more. No, you need dark humour. That's how it works. Oh, that's about Necromunda. Okay. Which Primarch was it that took a pirate ship and gave Horus a hell of a run before being brought back? Alfarius. Happy ending in 40k. Bugger off. Best Legion strategist. Horus. Close range combat, Iron Hands versus Death Guard. Death Guard, because the Death Guard were implaceable combatants. The Iron Hands were better at range. They were very good in combat, I'm sure, but outfought at range by the Death Guard, I'm pretty sure. How are you not starving? Because I literally ate as I sat down. I ate my dinner in here, opened my laptop, and started streaming. I literally just finished eating and I started streaming. I think they might forgive Magnus if he didn't turn into a demon prince. Yeah, maybe. but he did, so tough. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. I'm glad you appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. This is why I really enjoy doing this. If you can make your own Primarch, oh god, don't start. Wouldn't even know where to start, I don't have the time to think about it, because that would take me a long, long time. Ow. Oh god, ow. Hollywood wouldn't bother making a movie where millions die in defense of a planet and the end just results were exterminated. No, they wouldn't. Really like the stream. I'm glad you've enjoyed the stream. It's been good to chat with you guys. It's always fun. If he didn't turn into a Demon Prince, he would be dead. No, he teleported away as he had his back broken, but Primarchs can heal from worse. Primarchs can heal. So he was ascended by Tzeentch once they got to Sortiarius, not because he was going to die. Aren't the Iron Hands all about unleashing ridiculous amounts of firepower in close range? Maybe, but the Death Guard were the toughest of the tough. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I would say the Death Guard probably edge it, but on the tabletop, I think the Iron Hands would win. Maybe that's just bias, though. Do Astartes look down on normal humans? Some do, some don't. The Salamanders don't. They're quite pro-human. Others, like the Black Templars, do. Thank you for the awesome stream. Thank you for enjoying. Thank you for coming and making it a pleasurable experience. A Space Hulk movie? Oh god, you're basically doing aliens in 40k. White Scars versus Iron Warriors at range. White Scars are very maneuverable, but the Iron Warriors have a lot of big guns. I would say White Scars. Probably. Thank you for putting up with the Eldar fanboy. Thank you for putting up with me being a Tau. Did Lorgar take a volcano cannon shot to the face? Yeah, I think he did, actually. Yes, but if he didn't give in to Chaos, he'll be teleported and become a Demon Prince. He teleported them out. He teleported them away, and they were taken to Sortiarius, I think. I forget the exact details, and I'll get to it when I do Magnus and the Heresy. Also depends on the individual Marine. Yes, that's also very true. It varies a lot. Like Grimaldus went through a huge heart change, I think, during Hell's Reach, if I remember correctly. EuroC, how does a Tau become a Psyker? Implanted Psycho boosters, genetic manipulation, overexposure to the warp. How did I actually justify it? How did I justify it in my character's lore avatar backstory? Here we go. Implant or unlock some form of psychic potential. Giving them some sort of amplifier is how I did it. Terran-born Space Marines pre-heresy were very pro-human. Yes, they would have been. Well, when an Inquisitor hates a Tau very much. To end it all, we need 40k for the Switch. Nintendo would never go with that, I don't think. Iron Within, Iron Without, better than expected. I don't know what I was expecting. This is what you expect from a stream. Tzeentch whispered the incantation and finally broke Magnus to use it. I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, this is what you expect from a stream. It's generally just me chatting. Ave Dominus Nox. It's AVE. It's Latin. Ave Dominus Nox. And Tau can evolve to have psychics. They have souls, just very small ones. Correct. As I say, amplifiers, boosting the psychic potential that is within them. So who was that who made the Inquisitor joke? Who made the Inquisitor joke? Yes! Somebody who I know has watched it. Yep. It's not just a joke. There we go. Hey-o. Right. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to call it a night. Worst Chaos God, definitely Slanesh. Right, I think this is time for me to wrap the stream up. It's 10 o'clock-ish. UK time, it's technically 21:58. They're not genetically engineered as lulls, as nulls, not lols. They're not genetically engineered to be that way. They have a psychic potential, it's just extremely small, so you don't notice it. Anyway, enough of that. So, this is time to end the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you did, if you enjoyed the stream, leave a like. And I'm sorry about the crash in the middle. I hope it's not too bad. I'll sort it out in post. So, yeah, I'll try and stream again soon. Hopefully get my physics friends on, but I can't promise anything. We'll see what we can do. Don't need to worry about spelling. It's just I note these things and try and help people. What was the last quote? That's just that. Okay, whoops. See, overscrolled. Well, thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. By the name of the Emperor, or what? Yeah, I'll get the physics friends one day. In the name of the Emperor, the Great Good, the Gods of Chaos, I don't care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.